Hello and welcome back to the database. I'm Keith Wise, also known as Wisecraft. This is the third rendition of the orientation on how the database works. Today we're going to be focusing on this information on the right here, so you understand what it's for. You have the timeline, you have resource channels, you have resource tools. So the resource channels are all the channels that I get this information from. And resource tools are all the blogs I get this information from, and some the date, duration, numerology information. So feel free to go through those and travel around, see what you see. Today we're going to focus on the timeline durations and how that works. So go up here to timeline connections, and you'll be at the timeline connection database. Various timeline events with numerology connections repeating. These are lists of events in history that pertain to the day they happened in order with specific numerology sums. When you break the date down with math, they reveal themselves. This shows a pattern of ritual happening again and again with the sum number or digits. Apply the knowledge and see the correlations with the sum of keywords and phrases happening on that date. So up here you have events timeline, instructions, color key legend, date duration, Gematria calculator, and search words. So timeline connection research. Click on any year above in the taskbar to navigate to that page. You will be directed to a list of events related to that year and the numerology sum of each event date. Remember to look for matching number patterns. The color categorizing may help with this. So you have death lesson timeline research, shooting attack timeline research, 2000, 1800, 1700, 1600, 1400 BC. So these are different categories of dates of years of information in a sense. So from here you can actually just go to the people's deaths on the left here. So like say I want to go to Andrew Golden, okay? I click on it, and it gives me the day that Andrew Golden died, which was July 27, 2019. And you have the path 1, 7 plus 2 plus 7 plus 2 plus 0 plus 1 plus 9 equals 28. You have the second path, which is 7 plus 27 plus 2 plus 0 plus 1 plus 9 equals 46. You have the third path, which is 7 plus 27 plus 20 plus 19 equals 73. And you have the fourth path, which is 7 plus 27 plus 19 equals 53. All these paths are relevant in numerology in figuring out people's numerologies. So we're just using this information for dates. So the 28, the 46, the 73, and the 53 can be clicked on, and you can see what else is relevant with it. So all of them are clickable. You also have the event that's clickable as well. So like you have Park mass shooting event, 1 dead, 11 injured. You have Andrew Golden died at age 33. So just brief information, and then you can also relevant this information with that information. Or you can click on those. So if we click on Park mass shooting event, for instance, we're led to the event timeline year 2019. You have all this information above, and it says Brooklyn, New York Park mass shooting event, July 19 numerology event, and then it has the breakdown here, all the information here, so you know this is the first path, second path, third path, and fourth path, the event, the information, this is the where it happened, and this is the coordinates of where it happened, and you can click on the coordinates to give you more information. There's also labels underneath. So say this one had 1 dead, right? Let's see if there's others that had 1 dead. And it'll give us how many other events this year with 1 dead. See? So this one's the high school stabbing, 1 dead. This is the Columbine Heights shooting, 1 dead. This one's the Josh Turner tour bus crash, 1 dead. have the knife attack event, 1 dead in Lyon, France. So that's to give you an example of how that works. So then say if you want to do, is there what about 11 injured? Well, I want to look at the 11s, right? So you click on that, and then you can see that, oh, that's it. That you only have that one as far as 11 injured, right? So then there's 28, 40, there's this one's coordinates. So let's see if there's any other coordinates about the same day. And you have, oh, look at this. The Nassau, New York high school stabbing. You have Brooklyn, New York mass shooting. There's Manhattan, New York power outage. And Manhattan, New York helicopter crash. Brooklyn, New York 2 axe attacks event. New York missile outbreak event. And so you can see how they all relate to the same location. You can also go down here and click it that way, as that's what we just did for the information in here. This will give you psychological events, so like just basically anything that associates with like messing with your mind, wanting you to be swayed. You can go to either this or this, and it'll take you to the events that are related to those things. This is the opposite effect, so if you see it says UK 27-7, that's also 277, so we can see what 277 codes are relevant on other things. So then what happened on 727 will be 227 backwards, or associated with like the UK version of it. So that's just an example. If you go to, like, say January, for instance, right, it'll give you all of the days in January, and you can click on the day. So like say if I go to 1/9/2019, it'll give me all the events that happen on that day. So you got the crab boat capsizing event, you got the Charlie Payne police shooting, you got the Jordan Hankins died, and you got Rick Forzano also died. So you have the life path numbers up here and their breakdowns. Now here's what I'm going to show you. If you actually click on one of the life path numbers, so like say if I click on 11 in the life path number, then it's going to give me a breakdown of the date numerology of 2, because 1 plus 1 equals 2, the beast numerology of 11 connections, which we'll also get into later. Number name 11, 27, 63, 27, 99. So like the number 11 equals these things, and those also you can go to if you want to. So like say if I want to go to the 27, this area, this one's Pythagorean, this one's simple, this one's reverse reduction, and this one's reverse ordinal. So like say if I want to look at what other words equal 27 in Pythagorean Gematria, right? You can click on that, and it'll take you to the list of words that have 27. So Blythe, Lenin, Sumner, and they're also listed by categories. If you want to go to the category, you click on that too. But don't want to get ahead of ourselves. So notice all of these equal 27, and I have them color coded for you to understand which ones are connected to what in categories. So words, random words, shapes, negative words, government words, months, occult words, word combinations, and then there's like a graph down here of those words and how they relate to each other. So, for example, that's what happens if you actually click on one of these. It'll take you to those areas. If you stay on here, you got the 11 properties. So if I'll show you that, click on properties 11, it actually gives you the properties like Derek's Gematrinator number tools. And you have the information here. I also have them color coded. And then you got your factorizations, and then you also have clickable information. So the 89 can be clicked here to go to see what other things are 89. Same with the 66, same with the 31, and the 5. And we'll get into that stuff later in different orientations. Also here in properties, if you want to look at any of the other stuff, they have them on the side here in labels. You got your Fibonacci numbers, you got your prime numbers, you got your triangular numbers, you got your square root numbers. These are your categories, your themes, all the octals, in octals, duos, in duos, hexes, in hexes. Oh, and at the bottom here, Fibonacci relations, triangular relations, prime relations, covering all bases, and factorizations. Up here, this will give you all of the properties of those, the numerologies, and the information about the numerologies of these numbers. And these ones are the labels of the sums of the numbers. So like say if I go to 38, that's going to give me the 38 property, for instance. Back here you got event numerology patterns, and you see that these the 11s are marked with a black highlight with a white color scheme. That's to represent that it's a repeated pattern in history. So you got 2004, 2005, 2012, 2013, 2014, 2015, 2016. I haven't put 17, 18, 19 in there yet, but they're in there too, I'm sure. And basically, you see all the events that have the numerology of 11. It doesn't matter where they fall in the path, because all paths are relevant to each other. So like you have the train bombings, you have the Maythorpe tragedy, you got the Richard Pryor, you got Trayvon Martin buried, Mayan calendar restart, Westgate shopping mall, Paul Walker, Philip Seymour Hoffman, the police shooting, David Bowie's deaths, and you see how they're all related by the number 11. So if you want to click on any of the themes over here, mathematics theme is going to be the orange, the murder theme is going to be this one here, like the dark yellow with the red lettering. Occult's going to be yellow, the government's going to be green, the dualism's going to be like gray, the time's going to be like a blue with a like a purple outline thing or highlight. The beast is going to be yellow with a red highlight, and the death is going to be just red, and the Masonic is going to be the purple with the black highlight. So let's just look at the Masonic theme stuff just real fast for this section. So these are the days they occurred, these are the events that occurred in those days, and the Masonic theme shows up. So you got 33 there, you got the 33 here, you got the 33 here, you got 33 here, 33 here, 3 here, 33 there, 33 there, and so you can see all the events that occurred with the Masonic theme. If you want to go to murder theme, then that's going to be with these, right? And obviously you're going to see death with murder, because it just seems like par for the course. It's just it's a ritual that repeats over and over again. So anyway, that gives you a nice understanding of how that works. Then you got down here the main documented events. So you got shootings, you got fire, you got stabbings, you got police shootings, earthquake, murder, school shooting, bombing, flooding, active shooter, blackout, church shooting, shootout, tornado, avalanche, and spree. So when those pop up, it's still going to show the other things that are occurring on those days. This is just focusing on those things. Then you got attack documented events. You got car attack, bombing, car bomb attack, car hit, kill pedestrian, hammer attack, improvised explosion, or explosive event found. Israel's airstrike, Israel airstrike beginning or ending, Israel airstrike Hamas, and then there's or Hamas, I mean, robbing shooting, shooting hostage, robbing shooting or stabbing shooting, suicide bomb attack, U.S. bomb, Al-Shabaab. And then under here you got your other documented events, and then people shot by police. If you want to focus on death timeline information, then you go here. This just focuses on deaths. So over here you got all of the people that died, and over here you got their path themes, and then sequence patterns. And what I mean by sequence patterns are these are the numerology patterns that are falling in those orders. So this is path 1, path 2, path 3, path 4. This is how many of the scenarios that have occurred with those numbers. So if I click on that, for instance, there's 7 of them. So that means there's like 7 events or 7 deaths. So there's 7 of these same patterns. So then they fall in the same order. So like the 22, 31, 58, 38, right? And the next one's going to be that same thing. 22, 31, 58, 38. See, but they're different events and they're different days. So that one's the 12th, June 12th, July 12th, I mean. This one's June 13th. So they're different dates. Anyway, and then you go to shooting attack timelines, and these are only focusing on just shootings. And I only have 2019 right now. So you got your shooting events here, you got your attack events here, you got your path number themes here, and your sequence patterns down here. And it says shooting and attack timeline events with numerology connections repeating. These are lists of events in history that pertain to the day they happened in order with specific numerology sums. When you break the date down with math, they reveal themselves. This shows a pattern of ritual happening again and again with the same number or digits. Apply the knowledge to see the correlation with the sum keywords and phrases happening again and again on that date. So same thing pertains here. And then so then to go back to timeline connections, and to focus on 2019, same thing can be applied with these here. These are the days that they happened, these events that have happened, and it'll give you all of the scenarios that happen on that date. So if I click on 315, it tells me all of the things that happen on 315. So that concludes this orientation for today on the event timeline. There will be more later. Thank you for listening.